All right. So after much delay, let's get this party started. First off, I wanted to give a shout out to whoever chipped in $15 US toward Trails in the Sky second chapter on my throne earlier. That is sincerely appreciated. Whoever did it anonymously, so I don't know whomst does the charity, but it is appreciated all the same. Thank you very much. I did again. I do not expect anything, and I hope to put on a good show when that game releases, certainly. But for now, it is time for Blue Reflection Quartet, which I have not configured before going live. So let's hope this isn't a disaster. We'll try 40% volume first and see where things go from there. I do hope that they have left the title screen for Blue Reflection the same, the first game. That is an excellent new opening. That is completely brand new. I think I even saw a reflector design I don't recognize. Could just be Hiyori, but... all right. So... graphic settings. Hey, Ida! Hope you're doing well, man. We should be able to crank this. Yes. Well, we'll see. We'll see once we get into this game. I've as of yesterday, I've been feeling better. You know, compared to how I have over the previous week. But okay, so we're gonna talk about this later. But oh, there's no hard mode by default. Oh. That's a problem with Second Light. We'll talk about that later. Once per exploration. Yeah. And that's just for Sun and Second Light. Interesting. See, this is a little confusing because they didn't update the logo for Blue Reflection Second Light, so it's still saying Blue Reflection Tai in Japanese. TIE for reference. Unless it's just really small and white, there's like a little detail that might just be that just might be dirt on my monitor. Yeah, we'll see. I think we want to boost this up to. Whoop. Okay, it will not release my cursor, but hey, the music keeps going when I tab out, so that's nice. So reference. So all we get at the very beginning is Hinako Shirai. We're not going to go through all of these because there's going to be way too much to read, but I am curious how this will change over time. And the game will fill us in on these details. But yes, there is a character relationship chart that they have added, which I don't think is necessary, quite frankly, but I guess if you bought this collection and then skipped over the new stuff that they add in between, the world chart might be important. So are these different title screens that we can choose? Or just the art from the title select screen? Yeah, so that's the cast from Sun. Fantastic art. I forget the artist name. Their abbreviation is Melko. Mel Kishida, I think. We recommend playing the games in the Blue Reflection series in the following order for a more coherent story: Blue Reflection, Ray, Sun, and then Second Light. Study, play, fight! Though cheery, Hiri and somber Ruka are polar opposites in most things, the memories they have made together will guide them. The story of a group of girls fighting to oppose the Ashen Apocalypse. On that fateful summer, we set out on a journey to find what we truly hold dear. Please give me the title screen. There'll probably be an opening first. I didn't even check. This was at 1080, right? Probably. I'll double check that. Cursor. Yes! There we go. I'll see if I can get a clean screenshot of this for my thumbnail. You know, I can just do this. And then hide myself. Where's my model? There I am. Cool. I love when a title screen dynamically changes as the game goes on. And I'm going to try and capture more of this than I did during my initial stream, which I might go back in private just for simplicity's sake. I don't think I said anything important in it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get into it. And I will not be reading over Japanese voice dialogue. It's already going to be enough of a struggle doing femme voices for unvoiced dialogue. I only voiced over Fuga because they just have vocal barks, and then I made an exception for the narrator, just because I was reading everything else.
とうとうあの子が来てくれるよ。ずいぶん待ったけど間に合いそうね。大丈夫かな。大丈夫だよ。彼女を信じよう。そのために待ったんだから。いや、私たちが頑張ろう。ここからが終わりの始まりだよ。うん、そうだね。頑張ろう。
I might be misremembering, and I probably am, but there is something about this that visually looks different, at least. Whether or not it's better, I'm not going to commit to that answer. I wonder if there's a name for that tone. Prologue. The last step. The first step. Maybe it's the frame rate.
夏なんだ。結局冬服では一度も来られなかったな。いい加減前に進まないと。でも私はどこへ行けばいいんだろう。立ち止まってる場合じゃない。まずは職員室に行こう。今のまさか。職員室は2階だったはずだけど、どっちだっけ。ひとまず歩こう。
About the main menu. You can open the main menu with triangle. You can save and load game data from the save load options on the main menu. You can also change settings, including volume, battle difficulty, and text auto advance from the settings option. PC menu. All right. Fair enough. But yeah, like this must have run at 60 frames per second when I played it previously, but I don't know. There's something about it that seems like kind of uncanny. Oh, that's such a... Even it says the version number. That's weird. Yeah, there's something about this that feels snappier. Ah, I got called to the teacher's office again. Sucks going up all these stairs. Why is it on the second floor? Tardy Kashiwagi.
ここまで来たんだ。ちゃんと行こう。ここまで。
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. Either the lighting, because like the original game was always super washed out with this very bright, dreamlike quality, or it's the frame rate. Free Space Maniac Matsunaga. Grow, monsters, grow! What? Oh, I was just playing Dark Cave. It's a really popular free space game. This was... Okay, so they have relocalized this, I think. Because that used to be a straight-up Rita Repulsa reference from Power Rangers. It was like, grow, my monster, grow! Troubled Kubo. I was so indecisive about which club to join. They all started without me. Cooking, brass band, crafts, tennis. Ugh, can't decide. Yeah, and some of these camera movements are also like super smooth. I already can't remember if that was the same phrasing. I want to say you used to be able to have free motion of the camera, and now it's automatic. Which was one of the things that I had heard was apparently changed. Camera angles for certain cutscenes, at least. Thanks, Velma. You other bitches seen this?
このままじゃかなり危ない気がする。どうすれば。 何ここ。なんで私こんな場所に。何なのこの場所。夢でも夢にしては感覚がはっきりしてる。あれは。何あれ、生き物なの？
Ah, they changed that.
何なのあれ。このままじゃ私死んじゃう。大丈夫、あなたは戦えるよ。誰かいるの？その指輪をしているあなたは戦えるはずだよ。こんなのいつの間に。さあ、指輪に願いを込めて。それがあなたの力になる。願い？さっき死んでるようなものだって言っていたけど、まだ死んでいないでしょ。ここで死にたくはないでしょ。その思いを力にするの。大丈夫、その指輪をつけることができたあなたなら。さあ急いで。分かった。何？
So this was pre-rendered before. I think I might bump up the volume some more. It was a bit too quiet for my tastes.
何これ。チュチュ。リフレクター、あなたの力よ。リフレクター。
This looks a lot better than I remember.
敵を倒して。でも私はもう足が。それに力って何？まさか素手で戦うの？
Yes, please.
大丈夫、この力があれば現実の怪我は関係ない。あなたのその足も動くはずだよ。足が、膝が痛くない。動ける。それに今のジャンプ。さあ早く武器を出して。武器を出す？あなたの思いが力になると、その指輪に。
Hinaka's design is so great.
これは右目と同じ青色の剣。青い目？何これ？それに髪も。さあ戦って。あなたの力で。
Become one of those girls that all the manga's about these days. Alright, Oh, battles. Event log about battles. Okay, so all right, so the fucking woke squad is gonna get on top of this game, unfortunately. So, okay, so Blue Reflection was originally billed as like a Yuri slice of life franchise, and it's got talent behind it, like my favorite author, Keiichi Sagawa. The first game has one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. I also think that the sequel is probably one of the best written video games, as far as my favorite games are concerned. There are a lot of amazing things going on here. The first game doesn't exactly deliver on that promise. It does more interesting things, such as tackling the topic of neurodivergency, which we'll get to. That is also broached, not as explicitly in the sequel, but it is a major part of the anime and how it ties into the sequel. The sequel also has more of the Yuri promise that was advertised. Gust is, of course, known for the Atelier series. They also made Knights of Azure 1 and 2, which were also billed as Yuri games. But what that basically amounted to is... so this basically came out later in the same year as Persona 5 and has very similar concepts regarding the collective unconscious, people being taken over by their desires versus emotions, and forging bonds. Now, you can, of course, say that this game is deriving from Persona 3 and 4, especially Persona 3. When we get to the bosses, that'll be very obvious. But of course, Persona 3 is also deriving from Evangelion, so, you know. But to say that this game is ripping off Persona 5 is simply not possible. They both just happen to be very similar in a very nice way, and I still wish that people would recognize that and ask for a crossover, but it's never happened. Anyway, so bonds between these characters in an all-girls school is a very important thing. At the same time, they also had I'm going to call it an engine. I don't know if that's the word for it. But as we saw when Hinako got pushed into the river, her clothes got wet. And I definitely have footage of that from my original VOD, which I guess I'll have to leave up for comparison now, where, yeah, her shirt was completely see-through and you could see her bra, and it was degenerate, quite frankly. This is more accurate, in my opinion, for the type of material that this clothing should be made of. At least the uniforms that I wore when I, was young and had to go to a Catholic school. That's more familiar to me. And I always thought it was really hokey that they just had these, like, silk uniforms that were just ready to be turned transparent. And of course, while I don't think there was a photo mode, there is now, because that's the trend for everything for whatever reason. There was definitely a gallery mode where you could review character models. I hope we can review cutscenes now, because the fact that these are in-engine instead of pre-rendered is exciting. Like, this game actually, I think it legitimately looks better than the original. And I did not expect that they would actually overhaul this in any meaningful way. So I'm actually really excited now. So yeah, that's kind of what to expect. A little front loaded on the explanation there, and I apologize, but let's get back to it. Battles are fought through a turn-based command system. When your turn comes, simply select a command. You can see the wait time, WT, until your next turn by checking the timeline, TL. Battle commands. You can choose your command with the D-pad and use X to confirm your selection. Using a skill will draw from your reserve MP. You won't be able to use a skill if you don't have enough. Some skills have a knockback effect, which will extend the opponent's wait and delay their next move. They can reduce the number of attacks you receive from your opponent, so use them to your advantage. This is classic Atelier mechanics.
頑張らないと。
Oh, that's battle speed on the right there. That's real nice. So, c'est à moi. Deals slash damage to one enemy, a nimble stepping slash. And then Epée Lion deals heart damage to one enemy. Fires concentrated magical energy from one's fingertips. Small knockback. Costs 30 MP.
これが私の力。負けない。
I don't remember if this battle theme was the case for the first tutorial fight or not.
次はどうしよう。はっ。次も頑張ろう。
We acquired composure and self-control.
すごい。こんな風に動けるなんて。なんだろうこれ。何？
I think that's a different model.
嬉しいな。西田さんの声。
I think those used to be more
西田
cuboid.
さんの気持ち。ひなこちゃんが高校に来てくれた。また一緒の学校に通える。一緒の時間が過ごせる。嬉しい。これから楽しみだな。
That's just a photo of grass, man.
さっき言ってたこと、あれは本当の気持ちだったのか。
And that's not a complaint.
憧れか。あのコンクールに出た時、私もこんな気持ちだったかも。夢に見た舞台、すごい人たちと一緒に踊った時間。立場は違うけど、何かに憧れる思いは同じ。
Yeah, these guys use blur in a really, I don't want to say responsible way, because again, the original game was super bloomed and washed out in the hallways. But like that scene looked fantastic.
嬉しいな。今までのは夢？それにさっきまでの感じがなくなってる。何？いや別に。あとありがとう西田さん。これからよろしくね。さなでいいよ。私も勝手にひなこちゃんって呼んでるし。わかった。よろしくさなえ。私先生に会わないと。それじゃあまた後でね。時間がほとんど経ってない。もしかして夢だった？あれ？これ早く入らないと。
I don't even care if I'm gaslighting myself at this point. I'm just happy, man.
失礼します。
というわけでスタートが少し遅れちゃったけど、今日から一緒に頑張りましょう。白井さん、自己紹介をお願い。
白井ひな子です。これからよろしくお願いします。
じゃあ白井さんは あの空いてる後ろの席に座って。
はい。
And get ready for the camera cut.
おはよう、ひなちゃん。おはよう。
Sup?
はい。じゃあ、ホームルームを始めます。
これからよろしくね。
Yeah. Keiichi Sixawa, let's go. And we'll see if I can spot the composer's name. Best girl of this game. Hayato Asano. Yeah, the Sephira. Basically your Evangelion angels. Mel Kashid is an entertaining goober to follow on social media. He'll do some weird shit, like dressing up in a maid outfit and doing interviews in that. So let's save and see if we can... Chapter 2. Her will, their feelings. So I'm gonna close the game and reopen it. Just because I'm curious how the title screen progresses. Yeah, we're running the game at 80% volume. I could probably crank it up to 100, but I kind of want to leave that extra room just in case. If anyone's currently lurking, I would appreciate some feedback on the volume level. That opening is really great. Even just... Perfect. Yeah, okay. So now I got Sanai Nishida. Interesting, we don't even get all her likes right away, so that has to... Okay. Okay. You know what? People are giving this a hard time because the ports of just like creepy crawlies, cold weather, and raw fish. Because the ports of Ray and Sun are like, Ray is basically just like a visual novel that's just taking screenshots from the anime, apparently. Which, to be fair, I think is worth kind of okay, well, that's a bit of a 22 points of singularity. That might come up again in Ray. But, probably not, because they apparently really pare down the plot, and they don't even cover, like, Ray doesn't have a lot of important plot details, quite frankly. There's, again, a particular character in Second Light, which is my favorite character, who gets a very different side to them in the anime. And it would be a shame to miss out on that. But I wouldn't say that you need to watch Ray by any means to enjoy the sequel. It is, in a lot of ways, very self-contained, and the events of Second Light would have happened without the events of Ray. Ray is very much a side story in every way. And what is a little frustrating to me, and something that I hope they correct, that would be like the last thing that I really want them to do with this compilation, is in the credits for Blue Reflection Second Light, the writer of Second Light is not credited. Only the writer of Blue Reflection Ray is credited. And I don't know if they're the same person. They could be, but they are specifically credited. It literally says Blue Reflection Ray writer. So I'm going to assume they wouldn't specify that unless these are different people. Hinako goes to school. Okay, so this is your story event chart. That's cool. So I have to assume that they're different people, and I hope that they get credited this time because they did such a good job with writing that game. And well, I'm gonna feel bad for saying this if it is the same writer. Uh-oh. The game just crashed. Uh-oh. Because I literally saved my game and then exited it during a cutscene. That should not be happening. Ooh. But yes, if the writer of Ray and Second Light, I mean, to be fair, I do credit, like, again, my favorite character having a quote-unquote redemption arc. Like, my favorite redemption arc of any character in fiction. So for the writer to do the same, that would be fun. I just don't... Okay. All right. Let's see. Launching problem. Well, I'm gonna do a file integrity check real quick. Yeah, let's do that. Well, that's kneecapping my otherwise really positive first impression. But I don't regret what I did. Maybe I should have skipped the cutscene and then exited normally. But I don't think the game has autosaves. Second Light, I think, does, but I don't think the first game did. So I don't think I have a corrupt autosave. Even though that's the most likely scenario here. This will take a few minutes. It's at 6%. But yeah, it would be funny to get confirmation that they are in fact the same writer. Like, I don't believe that, you know, great writers will always write great things and vice versa. But but there's such a stark contrast. Like, there were so many things about Rey that very much felt like they wanted to do their own thing. Like, again, like I was pointing out with the round crystal, the first game has such a particular crystalline motif. Yes, that first area that you saw has a bunch of flowers and whatnot. Yeah, but Rey, the anime, whenever like combat would happen, the sort of sealed environment that characters were fighting in would be like overgrown with like rose thorns and vines. And I'm like, this is not. And I think even the metaphor for fragments instead of a crystal of a person's emotions, memories, personality, or whatever, it was literally a flower would bloom out of them. I might be mistaken on that, but I remember there being some sort of motif like that, and it was very heavy-handed. So it's, I don't want to say it's a situation where, I mean, it's recent and relevant. Supergirl just came out digitally, and I watched that, and it was one of the most disgusting movies I've ever seen. Half of the movie is literally a interstellar pub crawl with Supergirl just doing every bodily function possible, just absolute Supergirl failure is what I would call it. The CG is terrible and does weird, like almost 3D movie things where she'll like explode through a hole in a ship, but like her on screen looks bigger than the people that she's next to, so she looks gigantic. Just a mess of a production all around. And it was also just very dark, and because they were trying to go for this weird like Guardians of the Galaxy space jockey thing, that's even a detriment, honestly. No, what they went for was Suicide Squad, but Guardians of the Galaxy. And like Guardians of the Galaxy had a lot of color and personality, and the game, which I've heard great things about, also had a lot of apparent personality and colors and fun things and whatnot. But Supergirl failure, on the other hand, was just very dark and grungy, and they didn't want to make like full sets, it felt like, because every planet that she went to just quickly devolved into going into cuboid buildings with light filtering through, and most of the scenes were shot in interiors. And then any major fight scenes were enveloped in clouds of dust and smoke constantly, so they didn't have to render the entire environment. They could just throw a whole bunch of particle effects in the background and fill in the blanks, it felt like. My point with all these complaints is you then see people talk about like recent Supergirl comics, and I don't know which specific run people are referring to. I don't follow comics that faithfully, which is why I appreciate the MCU and whatnot, because that's what I'm tuning into, and why I was excited for the DC James Gunn verse. You know, starting with Superman, which was fantastic and colorful and fun. It was everything that this movie should have been. But James Gunn was not involved in Supergirl failure. You know, I saw some people posting shots of the comic that were like gorgeous, like painterly, almost like stained glass. Just beautiful, beautiful, colorful artwork. And that's even a point that, like, in a narration that Superman makes, is like, he's like, I know the suit looks a little garish, but I wanted to make it colorful so people know that we're good. You know, just the blue, the yellow, the red, just bright colors that communicate, hey, if someone's wearing this, they're probably not going to be that bad, because they you know, they clearly don't take themselves that seriously in the grand scheme of things compared to fucking edgy Mitch Edgelord. And again, the point of that is Supergirl spends most of the movie in a dingy duster coat. and just looks like trash until the moment where she puts on the suit. And then the one of the people behind the movie, I don't know if there's the director or what, but one of the major people behind the production is like, oh yeah, I didn't read the comic because I didn't want its visuals to taint my vision. I just want to do my own thing. And it's like, this is what we keep getting every single time, is so many adaptations, sequels, spin-offs where someone's like, I have gotten the rights to do a thing based on this popular thing, and I am going to take it and I'm going to do my own thing. And then if people like my thing, then I can say it's my thing, and people liked it because of me and me only. I'm pointing at myself. And it's this selfish creative mentality that I don't understand, because it's supposed to be a collaborative effort. In so many ways, these productions can't happen without so many people being involved, but somehow the people who get to the top of these productions always end up being these fucking selfish vain assholes. And that's why video game movies have sucked for so long, because nobody cares about the source material. And even when, so again, I still haven't finished it because I just have not, I wasn't in the mood for it, but I did watch about a third of the latest Silent Hill movie. And I do feel like it is the most faithful to Silent Hill 2, but then they add their own shots. So they're still kind of doing their own thing, but I don't think that those shots necessarily take away from it, per se. They introduce side characters that I feel have too much personality, that they're trying to inject some of their own DNA into it, but then they go back to being very faithful. So I don't, until I finish that, I do want to say I feel like that's probably the best Silent Hill film so far. And and again, me not being a Silent Hill fan and only simply watching playthroughs of the first 3 games and the remake of Silent Hill 2 are my points of reference here. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox and be like, oh, things need to be this way, or they never should have replaced the voice actors. I still think that's bullshit, quite frankly. Like, yeah, you can like your original take, and that may well be the superior take, but like to say nonsense like, oh, the new actors are bad or they didn't try or whatever, that's bullshit. I don't sign off on that at all. And yeah, it's just where we are. It feels silly to use this phrase, but we are kind of in a golden age of video game adaptations with stuff like Sonic. And that's going to be my only example. I enjoyed Uncharted as well. I really enjoyed that movie. And there's some other adaptations that I've talked about over the last year that I think have been really good. And DC, I definitely feel, has been, they've had some definite hits. Like, I really like the first Wonder Woman. Didn't really like any of the other major DC movies. I really liked the Batman. And with that thing getting delayed to like 2028, I'm wondering if they're trying to retrofit it into the James Gunn universe, because they're hitting the emergency button now after Supergirl. Because, like, I'm sure that movie's going to be great. I have faith. But does it need to be part of that universe? For it, no. For the James Gunn universe, maybe. Because, like, we had Superman, which was one of the best, like Superman and the Batman, I think, are... Was it just called Superman? Did it have a subtitle? Hold on. We're at 64%. I'm still filling for time here. Superman, James Gunn. Yeah, no, it was Superman 2025. But no, I think those Those films are excellent, very different vibes, and also quite different from like the Dark Knight trilogy. Um, but yeah, it's just weird. So like Wonder Woman 1, Dark Knight trilogy, The Batman, Superman 2025. Can't remember. Yeah, DC U. I mean, just like Marvel. I mean, there were things in between that I enjoyed. I just don't necessarily think of. Um, like I probably enjoyed one of the Aquaman movies. Uh, of course, they're doing their revisionist thing. Shazam was fun. Shazam, I liked Green Lantern. I don't agree. I don't agree with Ryan Reynolds making such a big deal about the Green Lantern suit every single time. Like, I maybe part of me just wants to to pull one over on him and get him back in the Green Lantern suit, but make it a good like James Gunn movie. But like the Lanterns TV series is about to happen, so we'll see what happens with that. But for what it was worth, I thought that movie was fun. Good, maybe not good, but it was fun. And again, Shazam was quite fun. Blue Beetle, I remember enjoying. I don't think it was necessarily amazing. I think Shazam was definitely better. And of course, Blue Beetle never really went anywhere. And to be fair, neither did Shazam. I don't think either of those appeared in Justice League because they're not part of that. And I did enjoy Arrow and The Flash, the TV series, for a time. They could never keep like a consistent level of quality, and they would always just get to shark jumping territory with those. But like, there's good stuff there. I would say that the CW TV shows, the CW DC TV shows are better than the Marvel Cinematic Universe TV shows. I would say that. I don't know why I've gone on this tangent, but we've got 15% left to see if the game works. Otherwise, I'll have to wrap up stream for tonight, which is shitty because I'm in a good mood. I'm actually in a really good mood to stream, and I wanted to at least finish, chapter 3 and get to where we left off. But I also don't regret the decision I made. I wanted to see the progression of the title screen, and I think I forgot to do this last time because by the time they start handing out the rings, they've added an extra character. So I kind of needed to interrupt that cutscene. Yeah, we're almost there. The last little bit is trucking pretty fast. Damn, only just hitting an hour on this. Really really got interrupted early. I don't know. I'm honestly going to be entertained following the whining and whatnot about this game that we're probably going to see. And of course, just somebody being an absolute contrarian and just being, please remove the original games when everyone is like, no, please do not delist the original games. But yeah, I forget if I pointed this out or not, but there is confirmation that the script is definitely improved. So like there's a screenshot with the next character that we're going to be meeting, Ren, who's talking about her boy troubles. And in the original version, her line was, "Yep, and he's smart too, one of the brightest in his grade." And in this version, she says, "Yep, and he's smart too, one of the brightest in his grade. He's even commuting to a prestigious high school." So we'll see which one is more accurate. You can also, there is definitely a lighting change as well between the two screenshots that they shared. What is interesting is that I would say that the new version of the game is brighter. However, I would also say that the textures are not quite as washed out. Like maybe there's a bit more blurring at play here, and that's part of it. Because again, the textures in the original, like, Gust makes games on a fairly tight budget. Oh, okay. Files were validated. Let's just search for the word crash. No. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get this working. Otherwise, I think that'll be the end of today's stream. I don't know. I feel like I've said a lot of good things. I'll need to probably make a timestamp for when that crash happens and I start filling for time. At least when I stop talking about Blue Reflection specifically. Come on. Don't let me down. You let me down. Okay, what else can I do? Let us close and reopen Steam. VTube Studio needs to shut down. I will be right back. Zoop. Yeah, I'm not sure what more I can do at this point, quite frankly. Well, okay, I mean, it does say there, it does have an autosave feature. I wonder if I can access the save data and just delete the autosave. Okay. Let's go digging. Browse local files. Data. Wow! The movies are just WebMs. All right. Sure. All right. It's probably from the gallery. Yeah, all the sound files are proprietary formats, but all the cutscenes for all the FMVs are just WebMs. That's funny. Okay. Blue Reflection PC save location. Okay, documents. Koei Tecmo. Blue Reflection. Save data. Eh. Hmm. That is from 2022, so that's the original game. Blue Reflection Quartet. No. Well, maybe. Users. No, it's all referring to documents. Let's go blind here. Go to roaming. No. It would either be under Gust or Koei Tecmo. Local. There's a Koei Tecmo foot. Here we go. All right. For anyone else who needs help, that is under your user folder, app data, local Koei Tecmo, Blue Reflection Quartet. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to replay back to this point off stream, unfortunately, because there's no autosave. There's just game data 00.pc save and the Steam Auto Cloud. And then there's data.net in system data and setting.ini. So clearly there is a save corruption issue, and it was auto-saving during that cutscene. Not that it should have been, but here we are. Well, that is a shame. We will be back tomorrow, probably at an earlier time. And I will have hopefully fixed that up. And so now I have 2 part 0 fonts for this game. Fuck. Maybe I'll label this as 1A. Well, we'll get to that when we get to it. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, bye.